The Real Estate Reviews Report is a great tool for you to connect with your customers, talk about what's going on in their area, and really stay in flow. It's a simple 2-page report with the first page shows the neighborhood patterns and the second has a scattergram to talk about the value of their home. On this first page, all you need to do to understand the area patterns is look at the graphs. Now this first graph here is the time to close graph, where every blue dot is a home that's sold in the last 12 months, graph based on the days it took to sell and the average and the price. This red line here is the average days it took to close, and the average sold price is represented here. Now this gives you a good indication on how fast homes are selling. For example, here the average time being 36 days, so this area is selling very quickly. This average sale price kind of gives you a good idea for what you could expect probably in the area for value. The next neighborhood graph that we show here is the odds of selling. Now this is created by putting the properties that closed in blue, those that are under contract currently in the yellow/orange kind of colorway here, and the ones that are currently for sale but not under contract in green. So over the last 12 months of activity, based on the search from today, there's a 95% odds of selling in this neighborhood. That would tell you that it is high desirability and it's very much a wanted neighborhood. As we scroll down, oops, a little far here, you'll see the third graph on this page is the buying pattern. Now this buying pattern graphs homes here, basically tall little houses, skyscrapers if you will, based on the number of homes that sold for every month. So you can see here this search was done in 2023, so we had data for January, February, March, and April 2023, and then before that it went back in 2022. Now the area where the most homes sold will be shaded blue. This is the area with the most activity. This means that there's more buyers out there in the market searching. So you can see this is May, June, and July was the hottest time of the year, and maybe you could argue a little bit of a tail end here in August and September. So what this tells you is if you're having this meeting with your customer and you did this search, in this case like we did, in about the May timeframe of 2023, then this would be a time to get on the market if they were thinking about moving. Now this is one of those things where the discussion now becomes, have you thought about moving, or are you maybe looking at upgrading your house or downsizing because life has changed? A great time to ask that question. Now on the next page, we have the scattergram. And the key to understanding this area of the Real Estate Reviews Report is just explaining that the properties closed on this graph here are the blue dots, and that these homes in general will not necessarily be over 12 months, but over a shorter period of time. We take the square footage of that, in this case finished square feet, and the property price, and put this on the graph. What this gives us is a good relation of fair market value that we can really use as a baseline for the value of someone's home. Now, to help understand this graph, you ask your customer, by giving them a pencil, to draw a line from their square footage, which you might need to provide for them, up to that line, and then tell you basically what the graph tells you this home might be worth. Now remember, this is a very rough estimate. And the goal of that is, you can see that there's some dots above the line, there's some dots way below the line. The goal is to have a rough estimate, but have a good idea, and then now move into inviting, for a more concise and more accurate presentation of a full CMA, which is the end goal of a real estate review, is to stay in flow and make sure that someone is ready for a full CMA, that you're there and you're communicating with them. So the key to understanding this report is the front page is the last 12 months of neighborhood information and basically what's been going on in their area over the last year. And the second page is a snapshot of value, and this could be 3 months, 6 months, depending on the data. It will automatically create this graph for you, but giving a good accurate value of a rough estimate so that you can be in flow with your customer and really walk forward down this process. Now that's just how you understand the report. But when it comes to presenting it to customers, creating it, etc., one thing what we recommend is taking a look at either the ebook that is part of your Real Estate Reviews resources, or taking the full class, which is in your account area. So hopefully this video helped you understand the basics of just what this 2-page report is, why we have the patterns on the front, and then the shorter term pricing on the back. And hopefully this is something that you can use to increase your business and really stay in flow with your clients.